We're really just at the tip of this iceberg for this expedition. We really just have a little bit of knowledge based on our own family's immigration stories. And as we get into our expedition, we'll get into two really chunky, long-term case studies. Please take a look at today's workshop target. Give me a thumb if you have a specific notice or a wonder based on just today's workshop target. Let's make sure we understand what this is all about. See a lot of thumbs, a lot of things people are noticing, a lot of things people are wondering. Maddie, start us off. What do you see here?
We're gonna use some documents or some like text to notice some notices and wonders about case studies.
Yeah, we'll look at some different texts to create some notices and wonders. What else are you thinking about, Ben? What do you think we're going after here? What questions do you have about today's target?
My question is, what's a immigration case study?
I have that right here. Awesome. Great question, Ben. We'll come back to that in just a bit. Thanks. Andrew, something you're noticing or
I think
wondering?
we're gonna, adding on to Maddie's for the source documents, we're trying to find understanding and research questions.
Good. So specifically, we're trying to develop a bit of understanding today. It's just some introductory understanding, but probably what's even more important is our developing some research questions, questions that will help shape the rest of our investigation, the rest of this expedition in a way. Chase, what else are you seeing or wondering?
We're going to use primary source
Good.
to figure this stuff.
Give me a pinky. You can hold that pinky way down low if you're like, I have no idea about primary research documents or resource documents. Maybe up here if you're like, I have some sense of what those may be. And hold that pinky up high if you're like, primary research documents? Man, it's like I've been working with them since I was born. You know many things about what those are.
Not many, but yeah,
Okay.
not that much.
So I see a real mix within the crew. I'm going to ask you just to take about 10 seconds and as a table group now, share your understanding. What do we mean by primary resource documents?
Secondary research would be like someone wrote something, or primary is a letter written by someone. Real thing, it's not
Analyzing is this direction. I love it. Where are we right now with our understanding of primary resource documents? You might even discuss it, how it's different from secondary, if you were able to speak to that. Kilauea, start us off.
I thought that like the primary document stuff was like the real stuff, I guess, like real information, and like the good,
Can you say a little bit more about what you mean by real?
like things that have been like done and copied and stuff.
So we can sort of say primary are real. Okay? Great. Sienna, something else to add?
Okay, so primary came from
that specific person, and like secondary came from somebody else who wasn't actually there to experience it or something. It was just like they know about it.
oh, yeah, that's
So that's what usually a secondary means.
Okay. If I went for a run this morning, and I'm jogging, and I see
snake.
I see someone on my run and they're just singing these beautiful songs, right? And I write a newspaper article about it. Would you call that a primary or a secondary? Show me your fingers. Primary or a secondary? I was right there, I saw it, I wrote a newspaper article about it. Oh, I see some mixed emotions, okay? Great. Let me ask you this question. If I was right there, I saw that person sing these beautiful songs and I was on my run, and then I told Devin about it. And then Devin wrote a letter to someone about it. Is Devin's letter primary or secondary compared to what I was able to say about it? Oh, I'm seeing almost unanimous now that Devin is that secondary source. Sienna's getting us right on track, and I think Kilauea is as well. I'm going to ask you just to make a quick note in your expedition journals about this, because we'll come back to this information later. Maybe make a little T-chart, primary, secondary. Both Kilauea and Sienna are right. Primary are, in a way, almost more real, and we'll say more about that in a second. Today we're going to look at some primary source documents, and in fact, many of them are around you right now in the room. Give me a thumb if you could describe what kinds of primary source documents we're going to look at today. Audrey, what kind of primary source documents are we going to look at? We're going to look at photographs, most of them pictures. Or I should say we're looking at pictures, most of them photographs, but not all of them photographs. And as we look at these pictures and photographs, we're going to try to, just like the target says, develop some introductory understanding and some introductory research questions. I'd like to give you one quick example. We'll try one together, and I'm going to set you loose on a bit of a gallery walk to check out these images here.